Sadhguru, talking of young people now, as we said earlier before we went in for the break, the youngest population in the world working we're going to have. And then you said we are not capitalizing on our people.
Now, I was talking about not capitalizing on the natural intellect which is in the country. To some extent, the software industry is mainly because of that, because somewhere unknowingly we educated a certain number of people, not knowing where to take them, and suddenly this IT boom came and we sort of capitalized on it to some extent. But that is still hitting only a very small segment of the population. About being a young country, having a large young population, I know it's being talked of as if it's a very positive thing. I want to ask a simple question: where did all the old people go?
Nowhere, they're right there.
No, why their numbers are not there in the same quantity?
I think that's a lot to do with the rate at which we are expanding, you know, and
population increase.
Population increase.
One thing is population increase, another is something to do with the longevity of the people.
That's right, that's right.
So that is not a healthy thing. We are talking about our disasters. Population is a disaster. Excessive population is a disaster.
True.
So whether it's ecological problems or environmental problems or social problems or the pressures in the urban areas and everywhere else, competition for everything exceeding beyond certain, crossing humane levels of competition is only because from 1947 to now, in 63 years, we've almost gone up 4 times over. From somewhere around 33 crores, we have reached 120 crores today, which is a disastrous increase in human populations. If we want to solve any problem, ecology or economic or whatever, one important thing is we must consciously decide what kind of population is manageable for a nation like us, and we must try to cap it there. Being a democracy, we can't cap it by force like some other countries have done. We have to run an awareness campaign and bring this about in some way and aim towards reductions of population, because we neither have enough land nor water nor a piece of sky for 1.2 billion people.
Also probably the required education.
Education is definitely missing, we are not able to provide, but that could be done. But you can't bring more land.
Okay.
You can't bring more sky, more water from somewhere else.
Resources.
Education can be done.
True.
It's a doable thing. So, the natural resources and the pressure on the land is too excessive. And we could go towards 2 billion in the next century. By the time we reach the next century, we could go towards 2 billion. And if we consciously do not control our population of the nation and the world, because the world's population also this has happened. At the beginning of 20th century, we were just 1.4 billion. Today we are 7 billion. We are projecting by 2050 will be 9.6 billion. This planet cannot sustain that level of population. And another thing is, in the last 100 years, per capita consumption of an individual human being on the planet has gone up phenomenally.
Drastically, true.
So, with the consumption increasing per capita plus the population increasing at this rate is a recipe for disaster. Unless we cap human populations, unless we do the necessary campaign and the necessary incentives and whatever else has to be done democratically, unless we do that and contain human populations, bring down human populations, there is no solution for anything we are doing, because after all we are living on a limited planet. At one time we thought it's an endless planet, now we know it's a limited planet with limited resources. There is no way to make anything sustainable. But this is an issue nobody wants to address because it's politically, religious and otherwise, many segments of society are very sensitive about this.
Yes.
But it doesn't matter how sensitive it is, if we don't… all the more if it's sensitive, it's need to be handled and addressed in the right context, not by force, but by awareness, by education.
Voluntarily, you know,
Yes,
absolutely.
by bringing awareness to this, that nobody can live well. Either we control this consciously or nature will control us cruelly, very cruelly.
The sad part is that even today, we understand this and yet we are consuming recklessly. I mean, we're doing such great damage to the environment.
Because we are in competition with America. Because in our minds, good life has become like American life. Everybody wants to have that kind of home, that kind of car, that kind of conveniences, that kind of everything. If 7 billion people on this planet live like an average American, I think the life of the planet is, I don't know, maybe it's a couple of decades.
Yeah.
It's not sustainable at all. So, our ideas of good life have to be changed. Our ideas of good economy has to be changed, but above all, our populations have to be reduced before we do all that.